Hey, you bunch of nerds. Why is Bluey so damn popular? And why is it so difficult for me to talk about it? I mean, I already made a video about how the show helped me through grief, and I'd recommend you watch that video before this one, as that one goes into more detail about what this show means to me in general. This video is going to focus more on one particular episode and how Bluey helps me to find my voice. While it could be someone's smile or their eye contact, studies show that our voices greatly impact our impressions on other people. Our voices matter as much as our words do. Voices help create empathy and understanding. They transmit our emotion. They create emotional connection. But why is it so important to find your voice? Metaphorically speaking, finding your voice means to find the confidence to express yourself through speaking and to have the right and privilege to say what you want. It also means to find an avenue or outlet where you feel your voice will be heard as well as acknowledged. If this is denied you or you deny yourself that, you will feel chained down. And this is exactly what happens in this episode. Growing up, I had trouble speaking because I was a very soft-spoken child and I got spoken over a lot. I also got spoken for a lot. And even to this day this still happens. I still struggle speaking because I got so used to being spoken for growing up. I grew up with a speech impediment and I found that a lot of people were speaking for me. Might it be my parents, my late sister. So when I started my YouTube channel, this was a platform I could speak on where I was never interrupted or spoken over. The subject of finding your voice to me is brilliantly illustrated in the Bluey episode Hairdressers, or as it's later renamed, Knits. Bingo, the younger sister, struggles to get words out because, to me, Bingo is a very creative thinker as well as being only 4 years old. But she also has a very confident and very loud older sister who isn't the most patient, so ends up speaking over Bingo or speaking for her. And, you know, speaking over someone and speaking for someone are both as bad as the other. In this episode, Bluey learns to let Bingo find her voice. This episode is about empathy, the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. That is the capacity to place yourself in another person's position. This, to me, is something that Bluey as a show does exceptionally well, especially in this episode. Bluey learns to listen, but she also learns to care about what her sister has to say. She is learning how to understand, be aware of, and sensitive to the feelings of others. In this case, her sister Bingo, who is struggling to find moments where she can easily communicate her thoughts, feelings, and ideas. While sympathy is a feeling of sincere concern for someone who is experiencing something difficult or painful, empathy involves actively sharing in the emotional experience of the other person. So when Bluey asks her dad if he is sure he isn't a little bit itchy during their game of knits near the end of the episode, she is actually showing empathy by understanding that Bingo wants to be part of the game too, but hasn't been able to communicate her ideas to the game as Bluey has been talking for her. So this is her way of apologizing actively. Rushing her sister into speaking makes Bingo more nervous. Compassion and empathy both refer to a caring response to someone else's distress. While empathy refers to an active sharing in the emotional experience of the other person, compassion adds to that emotional experience a desire to alleviate the person's distress. In other words, it's not enough just to listen to someone. You have to connect with what they are saying and show that you are genuinely interested in what they have to say, and that listening to them is not just a waste of time. Bingo to me is a very creative but also very anxious character who I 100% relate to, not just because she's the younger sibling, but because she struggles with the same issues I did when I was a child. She tends to hide behind her sister, who is more outgoing than she is, and I love this episode discuss this topic while showing both of the sisters learning about empathy and communication. It's a cute, simple episode, as all episodes of Bluey are, that may not be as emotional as some other episodes are, in fact probably far more comedic in tone, especially with what happens to Bandit when Bingo does find her voice, but I am glad that it shows the parents noticing Bingo is being overshadowed and is also not letting herself be heard, while not painting anyone else as the bad guy here. It's a learning curve that we all go through daily, to not only listen to others but also make sure others are heard, while also being more assertive when we feel like we can't express. Thank you so much, Bluey, for touching on this topic. If you guys have any other episodes you want to see me discuss, let me know in the comments below. I'm Mad Munchkin, stay creative.